you can say like your name. You didn't say like all your name, like the first name and where you're from.
All right. Shall I start? Okay, hi, I'm Julia. I'm from Germany.
My name's Mike. I'm from Alaska.
Cool. The important question: why you're not TA?
Yeah, it's kind of funny question because I didn't plan it to do the TA hike when I planned to go to New Zealand. I just wanted to see the country and try to figure out what's the best way to do it. And so I researched on the internet a little bit and saw some hikes, and there the TA popped up. So I read like one article about it and thought, why not doing that? Yeah, so I kind of stayed at this decision until I flew here and started hiking without any big planning before. Yeah.
I guess I wanted to come to New Zealand and wanted to see the countryside. And I had a few friends that had done the TA before, and it sounded like a good, cheap, easy way to see the country and save some money. And never done a through hike over 3 days, so also kind of wanted to do a through hike that wasn't as popular as the PCT. So I like the fact that it's a fairly new trail and not so many people are hiking it, respectively, or compared to the PCT. So yeah, cheap and easy way to see New Zealand.
Cool. Nice. What do you like on a TA, or what is it for you like really important here, or it's like for some people it's important to be in the nature. For some people it's like the community, the people around, or the hikers. You can meet interesting people. What is for you?
I think the best part is when you more on your own and you don't meet that many people. Like, I really enjoyed the company with Mike since the first day we met on the hike, but if it's get more than like 5 people or something, you don't really enjoy, because it's like you start talking to people and you don't really enjoy your being in the nature. And I think that's kind of important when you have, especially like long stretches between cities. It's that point why you come here, like you want to see the nature, you want to feel it, you want to hear the birds or whatever, and not talking to people that much. So I think that's kind of the best part of the TA, that you have these long stretches and such a beautiful landscape and breathtaking views like each day, and it's kind of nice to enjoy it like every moment, and you can enjoy it every moment. Yeah.
I think my favorite part of the TA is the dock huts. They're really nice huts. They provide a shelter out of the rain, usually water, a nice comfortable mattress, relief from the sandflies, I guess, as well. And I like the TA that you're never too far from a city. So the max you carry 8 days worth of food, such as here on the Richmond Ranges, but other days, like further south, you're 4 days from a town. So it's a nice kind of like, you get like 4 or 5 days in nature, then you get to go kind of explore the city and get a shower and laundry and resupply, and then you're back out in nature again. So I think it's like I haven't done any big through hikes, but it's fairly easy. You have shelters and you have towns every couple of days. So
you don't have to plan in advance that much. It's like
you
can do it even you don't have any experiences. Like, it's your first through hike. I never hiked before, like, so it's good for beginners, I think, because you don't have to worry about dangerous animals or anything else. Nothing can really kill you on the trail, and
Except yourself.
it's except yourself. That happened, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, if you be careful on the trail, nothing can really happen to you. Maybe
Yeah.
some slips on the rocks or whatever, but eating rocks
Trying to eat rocks.
because I fell on my chin. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I think it's yeah, I didn't do much planning for the hike.
no,
I
me
bought my
either.
tickets like 2 weeks before I came here. And yeah, checked the website, printed out some trail notes, and flew from Auckland to Queenstown and then hitchhiked to Bluff and started the trail, you know. So I think it's like a easy, I don't know, it's just pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and I think like one great part is that the Kiwis are so
Yeah.
like so friendly and helpful
Hospitable.
and what?
Hospitable.
Hospitable, that's the word. And yeah, we had like so many great experiences and meetings with so many Kiwis, like when we hitchhiked, or even especially when we hitchhiked, like they helped us out so much, and we're really thankful for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice. You answer for many questions you were asking. you're like you start like answering people, like talk and talk. This
Sorry.
is perfect. No, it's great. I really like. I know it's really hard to say, like usually asking for your favorite place in the TA or a part, because there are many places that are beautiful. But there's some, something like in your mind, like, oh yeah, it was the amazing time on the TA. It's not. I don't think. Don't saying or. I don't asking like the peak was the best, or like some feeling should be like road, or I don't know, like do you have some place which is less or part or like really beautiful, or has changed something in you?
I'm not really sure. I mean, what was really beautiful was in Nelson Lakes National Park, because Blue Lake is just amazing, and also like the stretch between Wild Pass and Boyle Village was really beautiful. I mean, you don't have like beautiful lakes around you, but you have the mountains around you that kind of are super individual. Like you have forest on that one, and the other one is more rocky, and like the variety is so big, and it's so stunning because you go through the valley and you look around you and you have a great view the whole way. And I think that part was really nice. I mean, it's maybe especially because the sunset on one day was really beautiful, and I just enjoyed it. And I think that was kind of my favorite part so far, because it just felt good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree. From north of Boyle Village along the St. James Walkway to Waio Pass, and then even over Waio Pass, you enter Nelson Lakes, and it's just like mind-blowing, this big glacial valley and Lake Constance and everything. Landscape really changes, but at St. James Walkway, we talked about it, and I couldn't like put my finger on it, what was so special about it, but it was just so nice. I don't know, it was like, had this magical feeling to it that, was hard to explain. It was just really nice, had a good feeling to it, it was just really nice being there, and it was really easy walking, which was, I don't know, also nice. And maybe it was the fact that we had just been came from Hanmer Springs and been sitting in
We're
the hot
super
springs.
relaxed.
So it was just super relaxed at the time. But yeah, and I think another highlight was Mavora Lakes north of Tianao, because coming from Bluff northbound, that was kind of the first section where we really got into alpine and mountains. And so it was like everything we had been working for a week up to that point was presenting itself in Mavora Lakes. And this was like, oh, this is why we're doing this. These are the mountains, these are the alpine areas I wanted to be in. It just took a week to get there. And, you know, it takes a little bit of struggle to get to the high point. So
yeah, a
that
lot
was
of
just
blisters, a lot of
yeah,
pain.
she had a lot of blisters.
Gosh.
But it was just, yeah, it was just nice to finally get to the point where I wanted to be on the TA, which was in the alpine areas and the mountains, and Mavora Lakes was kind of that first point.
Side hikes were getting less
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah, I wanted to do a bunch of side hikes,
between Bluff and Tianao.
and I wanted to give up, you know, I wanted to just like get off the trail and only do side hikes and not the TA. But once I got to Mavora Lakes, I kind of said, fuck all the side hikes. I'm just going to stick to the TA, you know, it's only going to get better from here on out. And it has.
It's great to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some good spots coming up.
For you, it's like almost ends. Not, it's like you have still like weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, but it's something that change or the TA change you. Like I mean, you know, sometimes the true hikes can like you start to think about I will change my life, or you start thinking about it a completely different way. It's something like happen with you, like you know the life after TA will be different.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it changed a lot in my mindset, but I think I learned more to appreciate less and to live with less, and you don't need much to have a good life. And even, like maybe you travel with your backpack and you have everything in there what you need for the next, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 days, and you don't need much more. And I think we are living like in a society where you buy a bunch of stuff that you don't really need, and I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about, like more thinking about what you really need, what you need for your life to be happy without being material or something. Just enjoying nature to be happy and not like buying a new dress or something. Yeah, I think that's like one thing that's more important, or what I'm was thinking about it.
Yeah, I guess I've kind of appreciated having everything I need on my back. You know, it's very independent and freeing to know that you can just survive out there with everything you have. And I think for me, I might, you know, the longest through hike I've done prior to this is like 3 days. And I traveled a bunch of different countries, and usually I go from like hostel to bus to hostel to new town, spend the night, get on another bus. And I think I'm gonna like through hike more countries that I visit and get off the bus system, stay out of the hostels. I mean, I like meeting other travelers, but this has been a really great way to see the country, and you get to meet travelers. And usually the travelers you meet also kind of have the same mindsets that I'm into, which is enjoying nature and not clubs or bars or stuff like that. So I think, yeah, I've already started to think about like what countries I want to go visit next and how to through hike those countries and make sure I bring a tent and a sleeping bag and a cook stove and just hike the country instead of take a bus from one town to another and stay at a hostel. So I think that'll change for me. I feel like I live a pretty simple life and have learned in the past not to just accumulate possessions, and they tend to only hold you back, and experiences are more valuable than items you can buy on Amazon. And but so it's kind of like reinstated that fact for me, that the less you have, the more you have, type of thing. But I also think like just like we met the day before we started hiking in Bluff, and I had planned on just hiking the trail by myself, did it northbound so I wouldn't hike with a lot of people. Then we met to just hike 3 or 4 days together to make sure we don't die, or you know, we both didn't know what we were getting into. We both hadn't really planned it out, and here it is like 45 days later, and we're still hiking together. But you know, it's nice that we can kind of talk about our experiences but not have to walk side by side the whole time and have a conversation. We end up kind of distancing ourselves on the trail, and so you get kind of alone time on the trail, but then you can like stop for breaks together or stop at the hut each night together. But I think just the time that I've had to myself to just think about I don't know, where I'm at in my life has been really valuable. And also I've been reading this book called The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, which has been really great because I get to read like a few pages each night, and then when I get on the trail the next day I can kind of like think about what I read. And it's I think it's a lot about like just consciousness and not playing into your ego and feeding your ego. And I realized that I kind of haven't. I think everybody has an ego, and but it's just given me a lot of time to like think about what that ego is and what I fuel it with, and you know, ways to just kind of not have such an ego, I guess. So yeah, just lots of time to think, you know, and I really appreciate that. Like, you just get so caught up, you know, with day-to-day activities, living in a city. You can always, for me, I can always come up with some other excuse to read a book, and here you have nothing to do but think and read. And so yeah, I've really enjoyed this book. Has been like just the perfect thing for this trail. In the state of mind that I'm in.
Okay, I have last question. Are you hungry on a trail? Are you thinking about food? Are you eating a lot when you're in town on a trail?
That's an understatement.
Yeah, I think food is not a problem, or not our problem, because, yeah, I think on the trail we kind of live simple on the food, but especially on this stretch, I think we have too much food. So, yeah, we have, like, since the first day, we didn't change our food or our lunch, dinner, or whatever, and just stay to that because it's simple, it's not that heavy, and easy to buy in the stores.
It has a lot of calories.
It has a lot of calories and gives you the energy you need for the trail, because that's quite good. But yeah, when we get into town, it's just like freaking out on food and buying food on the first evening and pay as much money as you pay for a whole week on the trail. So, yeah, I don't know. we like food. We both are really enjoying that, and we never starve on the trail. Or I don't know if I felt ever hungry on the trail. Can't remember.
No. Yeah, I think we've been. I mean, starting from the south, it was nice because it was 3 or 4 days in between towns, so we could kind of work out the kinks of what food works and what food doesn't. But yeah, we've stuck to the same couscous, cup of soup, trail mix bars, and peanut butter.
Yeah.
You know, for the last 40-something days, and changed the soup for a little bit, but now we're back to the same spring vegetable, which is the best. And yeah, and I think when we get to, I mean, people ask me, like, what are the highlights of the TA? And I think getting into town is, like, one of the highlights. Like, we spent, like, 3 days in Twizel staying at a friend of a friend's house, and we got to cook, and we got to just eat vegetables and strawberries out of their garden. And, I mean, that was, I hate to say that was a highlight, but because it really wasn't on the trail, but I don't know, I kind of look forward to having a week in the woods and then 2 or 3 days in the town. And I mean, my goal on the trail is not to lose weight or anything. I don't even know if it's happening, because I feel slim towards the end of a week on the trail, but then we get to town, it's like buy a steak, buy some cheese and crackers, buy 2 liters of ice cream, a 6-pack of beer, and but I feel like for me it's, I don't know, like if you're exercising a lot and burning a lot of calories, you should enjoy the things that make you happy, and food makes me happy, and so does hiking, and I get to do both,
Yeah.
just like hike for a week and then eat food for 2 or 3 days. And I don't know, I think the food, I look at what other people have, and it just seems so over the top, and I like that we've kind of just stuck to pretty simple stuff and stuck with that for 40 days. And I guess it maybe makes you appreciate when you get to town, and you can get some ice cream and beer and just
Enjoy
relax.
it even more.
Yeah, I mean, I think food makes you happy, and so why not eat good food? And I guess out on the trail it's more about calories than it is enjoyment, but I think it's a little bit of both. Like I still enjoy couscous
Yeah.
and spring vegetable soup and peanut butter and trail mix. It's like what I eat back home when I'm working. So yeah, I don't know. The food parts in town is really nice, and you get to it every week or less. So it's just really comforting, I guess. And when you feel slim at the end of 7 days on the trail, you just gain 5 or 10 pounds before you go back out on the next section of trail. But like I said, I'm not here to lose weight. I don't know why I'm here.
I don't know why.
Like, I don't know, just to see New Zealand. If I get big and fat, that's okay too.
Cool, amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
of
you.
course.